legal and illegal things are clearly defined, and in between them are some doubtful, unclear things.
So this title is based on a hadith. Every one of you know the hadith. And this hadith is an important concept of Islam, to the extent that Imam Ahmad, Imam al-Shafi'i, and other great Imams of Islam said Islam revolves around 3, and some say 4 hadiths. We will mention the 3 which they agree upon. Hadith number 1, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ, deeds are judged by intention. This is one of the hadiths that all rulings of Islam revolve around. Hadith number 2, مَنْ أَحْدَثَ فِي أَمْرِنَا مَا لَيْسَ مِنْهُ فَهُوَ رَدٌّ, whoever innovates in our religion what's not part of it, it is rejected. This is hadith of Aisha. The first one is hadith of Umar. Third one is hadith of Nu'man ibn Bashir ibn Sa'd, may Allah be pleased with him and with his father. الحلال بين والحرام بين وبينهما أمور مشتبهات. So this is the third hadith. It has many different narrations, and this is one of them. Yes, sir.
Hadith number 985, narrated and Nu'man ibn Bashir radiyallahu anhu, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, both legal and illegal things are obvious, and in between them are unclear, doubtful matters.
Okay, both the translator sometime makes mistakes, and they translate according to what they think. Al-halalu bayyin wal-haramu bayyin. Is it legal and illegal? There are so many legal things that are haram in our religion. So this is not an Islamic terminology, legal and illegal. You should say permissible things are obvious and clear, and prohibited things are obvious and clear. This is the right terminology, and this is why we always reiterate, learn Arabic. If you don't know Arabic, you cannot become a true, full-fledged student of knowledge. Your knowledge would be superficial, like the cream over a cappuccino. It's superficial. You need to know Arabic. Why? Once 15 years ago, I was doing something for Kalima in Dubai. It's there is Kalima and there is a Manar, I think, or something like that. 2 da'wah centers. And I was doing for them a course on preparation of the funeral. From before the man dies, we kill him. Of course, he died naturally, but and how we wash him, shroud him, in the salat of janazah, everything. While I was doing my preparation, I came across a hadith. So in order to translate the hadith, it's best for me to go to Islam Q&A and look for the hadith in Arabic and go for the translation. I don't need to reinvent the wheel. One of the hadiths, I found an article written by an American imam of a masjid. And the article was good, the site was good. So I read the article, and the man was translating the hadith. 7 other than those martyred in the battlefield, are considered martyrs. So the one who dies in a collapsed building, the one who dies by drowning, the one who dies by stabbing, by stabbing. So I said, oops, stabbing. I'm an Arab, I've never heard this. So I went and he gave it a couple of seconds, said, Shaykh, why do you translate this? Stab in Arabic is ta'n. Someone who's stabbed is mat'oon, which is the hadith. But mat'oon also means the person who dies through the plague. Min at-ta'oon. So the guy was reading it, so stabbed, okay, stabbed. So imagine if I read this translation, I'm a student of knowledge, and I'm in New York, and a brother comes to me, give me your wallet, I'm gonna kill you. Said, he has a knife. He said, Alhamdulillah, this is Shahada. Come on, make it quick. Here, please. What are you doing? He said, Mat'oon. I'll be one of the martyrs. No, stupid. Give him the wallet and go in peace. This was referring to the plague. So the translation counts. You have to know, is it a valid and trustworthy or not? Otherwise, you'll bring catastrophe to yourself. So, this is an incentive, an encouragement. You are in an Arab country. Living here for 10, 20 years, you don't speak Arabic. I know the challenges, because every time you speak to me as a native, I'll reply to you in English. I want to practice my English. So you find it easy, so you're speaking English. No. Insist on speaking Arabic. I will speak to you in Arabic. But when you always speak in English, you will never ever learn Arabic. So put it in your mind that every time I speak, I have to do it in Arabic. Fusha, colloquial, no problem. But do not use English. And inshallah, within 6 months, I guarantee you that you will read the Quran, read the Hadith without any problem. Because you're in Arabia. Benefit from this instead of, I'm too lazy. No, do it. Akhi, I'm doing Spanish. Now, I'm 61. I'm doing Spanish on my free time, which is very little. I've been doing it for a year and a half. I studied French for 2.5 years in college. It's easy to pick up a language, but you have to put some effort into it. We don't want to go out of the topic. Tfaddal.
So whoever forsakes those doubtful, unclear things.
Okay, doubtful or unclear thing, I would rather translate it as ambiguous. Or, no, sorry, not ambiguous, dubious. Dubious matters. This is better than doubtful or unclear. Dubious matters.
Lest he may commit a sin, will definitely avoid what is clearly prohibited, and whoever indulges in these unclear, dubious matters bravely is likely to commit what is clearly prohibited.
What does this refer to? It refers to when going to transactions, when going to buying and selling. There are things that are crystal clear, halal. What's the ruling on buying water? Halal. Thank you. What's the ruling on buying wine? Haram. Thank you. What's the ruling on XYZ? I have to analyze. Is it halal? Is it haram? As long as there is doubt in it, leave it. As long as you're doubtful about it. Okay, Sheikh, but it might not be haram. True. But what's the other end of the equation? It might be haram. So there is a probability. The hadith tells you that there is a sanctuary. This sanctuary belongs to the king. And the king has all of his livestock in it. There's a big fence and a big warning sign. If your animal of your livestock enters this sanctuary, it will be the end of it. It will belong to the king. You cannot call it back. So now you say, there is 5 meters. Okay, I can bring my livestock and the herd, they can graze around it. Not going to. Are you approaching danger zone? The Prophet says it's the same thing with dubious matters. You say, Akhi, this is not haram. Bring me the dalil. Akhi, it's not everything 1 + 1 = 2. There are other indications, indicators, there are other signs that makes it haram. I said, no. I want something that comes and says, smoking pot, smoking marijuana is haram. Do you have this? I said, no, not in the text. I don't have something that says drinking whiskey or vodka or tequila or gin is haram. I have general definitions of it. He said, no, I will not. This is not dubious. This is almost haram or clear haram. But you, the Prophet ﷺ is trying to align you with the Sharia, with the Quran and Sunnah. Something that is dubious, stay away from it. Or you're inevitably going to fall in haram. And there are many examples of this. Okay.
Since are Allah's hima, that is private pasture, and whoever pastures his sheep near it is likely to get in it at any moment.
This is the pasture, which is the sanctuary that the king has, and this is well known to be his property. Don't approach it. And likewise, don't approach anything that may make you fall into clear haram, because you're close to it.
Chapter 3.